Starting in August until early February, families get together every Saturday and Sunday to watch collegiate and professional football teams run, throw, and catch a brown poet spheroid ball, while also coming into contact with several 200-pound players. Most of the time, these athletes get right back up, get back into the game, and are ready for the next play. But sometimes they don't get back up. They wait on the ground until their coach or an athletic trainer meet them on the field, trying to figure out what went wrong during that last play. Although athletes know the risks when it comes to playing a high-contacting sport and not making changes to contact sports could make the games boring, athletes are falling troublesome just because of something as preventable as an injury. Rules and regulations need to be changed in contact sports in order to prevent head trauma that can lead to greater mental health issues, to create a safer and healthier outlook on the sport and an athlete's lifestyle, and to emphasize that new rules and regulations today have had a great influence on gameplay. First, let's talk about why it's so important for the prevention of injuries in the sports community, as they can lead to greater health issues such as diseases within the brain. Everyone knows that contact sports such as football, hockey, rugby, and soccer can all take a toll on an athlete's body. Injuries can range from minor sprains to concussions to broken bones. But one of the main concerns in the football industry today is chronic traumatic encephalopathy, or CTE. CTE is a progressive degenerative disease within the brain that affects people with constant head trauma. CTE has the power to alter your personality, your behavior, and impair your judgment. A study was conducted in 2017 by the Boston University School of Medicine that tested and analyzed 202 brains of football players for CTE. Out of the 14 high school football players that were tested, 3 were found with CTE. Out of the 53 college football players that were tested, 48 were found with CTE. And out of the 111 NFL players that were tested, 110 were found with CTE. The damage CTE can do to an athlete's brain is unbelievable, and it needs to be changed. In fact, the study also found that children who play tackle football earlier on in their lives are also being affected by CTE. Children were experiencing earlier onset behavioral and mood problems, aggression, and depression earlier on in their lives. Athletes, including children, are being, just by playing sports that they love, are being affected by CTE every day. Now, rules and regulation changes wouldn't only prevent injuries, but they would also provide a healthier atmosphere for all of the athletes, which would then lead to greater lifestyles for the athletes. NBC Sports stated that Eric Lindros, a former NHL player, was forced to retire because of the number of concussions he experienced. He still continues to play hockey occasionally, but without all the physical interaction and hitting with other players. He expanded on the benefits of eliminating hitting in hockey during a conference and stated that although hockey has always been a physical sport, he still had just as much fun playing hockey without hitting as he did during his professional days. Now, creating a safer outlook on the sport would then lead to healthier lifestyles. For example, Kelly Holmes, a former 2-time Olympic gold medal winner in track and field, stated that after retirement she felt like she lost herself and suffered from anxiety and depression and self-harm. According to the American College of Sports Medicine, between 15.6 to 21% of all college athletes experience depressed and unhealthy lifestyles after retirement. The LA Times also projected key data on the NFL and its concussion settlement, which reimburses retired athletes that now need medical attention for injuries. Recently, these claims have not only been concussions, but Parkinson's and ALS, 2 neurodegenerative diseases. In fact, 113 Parkinson's and 42 ALS claims were filed recently by former players. Depression, anxiety, Parkinson's, and ALS are all diseases that can be detrimental to the overall health of an athlete, and they are acquiring these unhealthy lifestyles just by playing sports that they love. Contact sports have created injury-prone plays and unhealthy lifestyles for athletes, but if any organization stepped up to change this, actually, the NFL has. Injuries are so prevalent within the NFL community that during the 2017 season, according to Play Smart, Play Safe, there were around 281 concussions, 143 MCL tears, and 54 ACL tears. Another article by Play Smart, Play Safe states that the NFL, before this season that we're currently in, they implemented a 3-step injury reduction plan in hopes to reduce the number of injuries within the football industry. The first step is for officials to take a closer look and get insight on the team's preseason practices and watch carefully their drills, strategies, and plays to determine what drills and plays were creating the most amount of injuries for future changes. The second step is better performing helmets. Every year, helmets will now undergo lab testing for the officials to see and create better and efficient equipment usage. The third step is rule changes themselves. A new kickoff rule states that the kicking team must stay behind the 35-yard line to reduce the speed of the players as they approach the receiving team. A new tackle rule states that a foul will be called if a player lowers their head to initiate a tackle, which then prevents the event in which a player's helmet comes into contact with another part of a player's body. With this plan in place, the number of concussions from last year's season and this year's season, respectively, went from 281 to 214. The number of MCL tears went from 143 to 131, and the number of ACL tears actually happened to increase from 54 to 57. Rule changes within the football industry have created an impact on the number of injuries within the gameplay, but rules like these need to be implemented in all contact sports in order to create safer gameplay for all of the athletes. Now that I have you thinking about whether or not you support changes within contact sports, let's recap on the topics I introduced today. I first said that head trauma only leads to greater mental health issues, that sports need a healthier and safer outlook and environment for athletes to live healthier lifestyles, and that the impacts of new rules and regulations and how they have influence on gameplay today. Now, a lot of athletes have survived from groundbreaking injuries, but not many have been as lucky. Tyler Helinski, Brody McCarthy, and Rowan Stringer were three athletes who loved sports. Tyler played football, and Rowan and Brody both played rugby. Tyler had early stages of CTE and committed suicide January of last year because of the control CTE had on his brain. Brody sustained a fatal brain injury during a practice, which resulted in bleeding in 2 different parts of his brain. And Rowan experienced 3 concussions within a week, the third hospitalizing her for her only to later pass away. Contact sports have been around for years, creating an athletic pastime for all athletes, but these injuries are extreme, and rules and regulations need to be changed in order to save athletes' lives. Thank you.